Okay, hello everyone. Uh, I previously made a video about the circuit and the demonstration of my portable step counter. It's this thing over here. But if you are to use it, you need to know how to program it. So here is my program. It's not the neatest program. I should probably make it a bit neater. Ooh. But it works, so that's what's important. So let's get to from the top to the bottom, shall we? And I'll make it neater as we go. So first of all, as we are using a liquid crystal display, we need to include the library, and we do that simply using pound include and then liquid crystal.h using these less than and greater than symbols. Now we need to set up our variables, and there's quite a lot of them, but don't get worried. It's very simple. The first one is for our button pin. In my case, that was pin 4, but for you it could be different. And then I set up variables for each of my LCD pins. And on an LCD with Arduino, you want to use the RS, the EN, the D4, D5, D6, and D7 pins. I will make a video on the LCDs shortly, but for now, I'm just talking about the basics of this program. Then I set up a variable for my tilt sensor, tilt switch, tilt ball switch, if you will, and in my case, that went to pin 11. Then I set up my liquid crystal and I named it LCD, and I gave it the pins RS, EN, D4, D5, D6, and D7. Then I wanted to make it count only when I clicked it and then I let go of it. So I needed to set up tilt new and tilt old and butt new and butt old. Basically, the tilt new and the tilt and the butt new are going to be the ones that are reading, while tilt old and butt old are the ones that are going to be the previous ones. Like if I clicked it, butt new is going to be 1, while butt old is going to be 0. But then if I let go, butt new is going to be 1, while butt old is going to be 0. That sounds about right. And on the tilt switch, when it's just in a regular position, or like I said, when it is off, it is set to 0. And the button, since I'm using a pull up switch, it is going to be set to pin to 1 when it is off. Now I also want a counter, so I call that variable steps. And I also want a delay time variable, so I call that dt and set it to 100, as I don't want too long of a delay after the LCD renews. Okay, moving on to the setup, we have 2 pin modes, one for the tilt pin and one for the butt pin. Don't need any more. Then, as I want the butt pin to be a pull-up resistor, I send a digital write to it. Then, this enables the internal pull-up resistor. And then I set up my LCD with 16 columns and 2 rows. And then I begin my serial monitor at 9600 baud rate. Okay, moving on to the void loop. It is quite small, as you can see. It starts off by simply reading, so setting it so that tilt new and butt new read from their separate pins. Then I just want to do a quick test. So I printed tilt new and I printed butt new onto the serial monitor so that I could make sure it's all working properly. Then the important part, I added a if statement, which said that if tilt new is equal to 0 and tilt old is equal to 1, then I want to make it so that steps is equal to steps plus 1. Now notice I didn't make it that when tilt new equals 1, which would have been when it is turned on, but I made it when it is transitioning from on to off, like this in between value. I'm going to read for that. And when that happens, only then do I want to add 1. Because if I did it when it's on, it would just be continuously adding 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and then I just get a very large number, which would be very inconvenient. And same thing goes for the push button. I basically made a toggle switch. Then, you cannot see that. I'm going to bring it up a bit. Then, I clear my LCD. Then, well, obviously I want to clear it because then the texts are going to overlap and that's not going to be nice. Then I set my cursor to 0, 0, so the top left corner, and then I print number of steps. I could have maybe written it in text, but I just wanted to make sure that I did not waste all of my spaces, so I didn't risk it. I put a number there, number sign there, and then I set my cursor to the second row, and that was row 1, since in here they start counting from 0, not from 1. And then I print LCD, this is important, steps multiplied by 2. Notice I didn't just print steps, but I printed it multiplied by 2. Because you see, the way this thing works is that when you're walking and you're like moving your hand, like you move it up here, and then you move it down, and then you back up. But during that time, your legs would already move like 2 times. So instead of just doing like this, 1, and then your legs moving 2 times, but you only read 1, I multiplied it by 2 so that I can get as accurate as I can. Then I use my delay here so that I do not get a blurry screen. And then I made it so that the but old is equal to but new and tilt old is equal to tilt new. Otherwise, but old would always be 0 and tilt old would always be 0. And these two if statements would never run. And then I printed num steps so that I could check on my serial monitor whether it is working. And then I also printed steps times 2 to see if it is working or not. Now, to show you that this program really does work, I'm going to first zoom this out. Ooh, let me just do this. There we go. Should be getting better now. There you go. Okay, now I am going to verify it to show you that this program does work. So let's take a sip of tea. That is very refreshing. And now I verify it, and it loads, and it says done compiling. So this program really does work, and I was not lying to you. If you like this video, please consider subscribing and leave a like if you liked it, and leave a dislike if you disliked it. Also, please put some comments that you may have in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys next time.